The North Park Stadium here at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin is the host of the CrossFit Games here on day number 1, event number 2 for the Masters women ages 50 to 54. First time in 700 some odd days we've been able to have the CrossFit Games here in Madison, Wisconsin. Amanda Krenz is down on the field alongside Tanya Wagner. My name is Joel Godet. Event number 2 is a speed couplet here. Rope climbs and deadlifts and 6 minutes with which to work.
We've already seen the older divisions tackle this event, but now the ladies in the 50 to 54 division will have an extra round. They're going to do all 5 rounds, and their weight on the barbell goes up 20 pounds, so now they're going to deadlift 195 pounds. They still have that one rope climb where they are able to use their legs.
2 pages of lane assignments here with 17 women competing in this event number 2. Didi Hoffman and Tia Vesser in lanes 10 and 11 went back and forth last year in what we've talked about, the Masters Fitness Collective. They held a championship when the age groups did not happen because of COVID-19 last year. So once again, they are the 2 to jockey here in the middle lanes once they make it to the CrossFit Games here in 2021. Carrie Sandoval in lane 13 is a CrossFit Games veteran as well.
30 seconds.
There are 30 seconds to start.
Like you said, you know, some of these athletes qualifying for last year's games and then having to wait, you know, it's been the story for so many people, but when you've waited that long to get on the floor and, you know, they've had other competitions, okay, it's not what you train for all year. So getting to get out here and just be here with the crowd and be side by side with the other athletes is just, it's exciting for these athletes, and they really get to showcase what they've done for the past 2 years of work.
Underway, age group 50 to 54 for these women. Our broadcast today is brought to you in part by Beast Gooder. Squawk Beast Gooder sunglasses is hooking you up with 21% off their already affordable no slip, no bounce, all polarized shades with the code BEASTGOODER CrossFit21. Head to gooder.com/CrossFit and get ready to finally have a pair of shades that stay put no matter how sloppy your burpees get. It's Beast Gooder sunglasses. Tanya, I can personally attest to that, by the way. They don't move. They're good.
That's good. That's gooder.
Right next to one another, and in first and second place,
45 seconds in here to event number 2. Elena Kulik trying to make up some ground. She was on the back half of the standings after event number 1. This more in her wheelhouse movement-wise. A Games veteran, this her 3rd appearance on the right of your screen there in the gray. And advancing that bar next to the leader, Joyanne Cooper. Those two going back and forth here.
Being that they can use your legs, there's a little more urgency on these divisions because they can rely on the legs. They don't have that, you know, they don't have to wait for the grip. But the descent there.
That was good.
Shaking your head. Yeah, I see that too. That speed on the way down, really, that has been the difference maker, is the descent on the rope for these athletes. And being that high, every extra half second, quarter second matters.
And then advancing the bar to round number 4. She'll head back to the rope climb here. Joyanne Cooper talked about waiting for some of these athletes after not having a Games last year. Joyanne told the Morning Chalk Up, I consider myself a 4.5-time Games competitor.
Giving it to herself. Yeah.
Marianne Hulkberg down in lane 15, pushing the tempo here as well. She moves forward onto round number 4 and sprinting right back to the bar. 5 deadlifts in round 4 here for Joyanne Cooper. Hailing from Newmarket, Ontario, CrossFit Newmarket Central in Canada. 52 years of age, so still the front side of this division. And she's on to her final rope climb.
Has her chalk in her sports bra. That is a veteran move right there. You don't want to waste time setting it down, so during the transition, chalking up. It's the little things, Joel.
That's an advantage I can't have in a workout.
Slap a sports bra.
Making her way to the barbell. You are clear in the middle of the ring.
Cooper right now still leading Elena Kulik. Those are the front two, and you can see the distance between them. I mean, that's first and second place on your screen right now. And now Kulik is going to run in behind Cooper, who will run ahead to the finish line. And an event win, the second of Joyanne Cooper's CrossFit Games career. Joyanne Cooper unofficially in 3:17.
Executed it like it was meant to be. Nice little sprint.
And after a tough start in event number one, Elena Kulik, all the way from Novosibirsk, she's from Siberia. Elena Kulik is done. Tia Vesser, who we talked about off the top, one of the names to watch coming in. She is done. Sprint to the finish right next to her. Didi Hoffman, who was the top-ranked seed coming out of the age group qualifier, she has finished in under 4 minutes. Points to be had here as barbells drop. Looks like the cap maybe no inhibitants here for these ladies. As all but one have now completed their work. There's just one rope climb left here on round 4. As you look at the utter destruction for the finishers.
And that's what you expect in a sprint, so they push themselves just like expected. It's hot out there also, Joel. The sun is fully out. The first event they had today, cloudy. It was raining then. We had a delay, but now it is full sun. It gets really hot out on that turf.
Well, Christy Brown may have just hit the wall here on these rope climbs. The owner of South Sound CrossFit in Eatonville, Washington, had a good showing on event 1 today. You would expect that, a marathon runner in her younger days. 17 years as a deputy in the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. To the games here, break down her form here for me.
Yeah, so look at her legs. She's not getting her feet up really any higher than just a slight knee bend. So there's so much fatigue going on in her upper body and her arms, and she's just unable to hold on because it's all about her grip. So much time under tension. It's just it compounds all the upper body, where if she could get that leg length or that leg height higher and stand on it using all of her legs, then it would take some of that relief off of her arm.
That's what we talked about a couple of divisions ago, where it's less of a pull sometimes than it is a stand.
Yeah, but you know what? Using the deadlifts, and her legs are probably tired from earlier this morning. Sometimes it's hard if your legs are fatigued to also use that technique.
That Dave Castro is dastardly, how he taxes things in a certain order. It's the buildup of the games and how you're able to handle that.
It is. It's the test though that they are being tested on, and that's expected. But some of the, and if it's just not your movement either that you're proficient at, then sometimes there's just movements you don't want to see together, and that could be for her. Who knows? But many of these athletes did get through that just fine. Smiling already. Really though, for this heat, this 50 to 54-year-old women's division, it was Kulik and Cooper. They were head-to-head in the same lane, sharing the lane, but Cooper was the one who was just moving on the barbell. She was really fast. She got those feet up really high on the rope. Every single time she uses her length to her advantage, just gets the feet as high as she can to stand up on that rope. Form was unbroken all the way through, even to that final barbell. Was able to stay ahead, just edge out Kulik, because her transitions were fast, no hiccups on any of the movements. They were both strong for her. She was able to execute this one just as a sprint.
Second event win in the career of Joyanne Cooper, who was with Amanda.
Let's talk about the little things in this sprint style of a workout. There's not a lot of room to make a lot of mistakes. So what were some of those little things that you took into consideration?
Putting the chalk inside my bra. I mean, I tried to find room in pants, but decided on the bra. And I've never done that before, but thought that that would just save that time in transition because there's runs between the two movements. Another important one is don't get any no reps on the deadlifts. They would be costly. So just really take an extra second and really open up at the top. Make sure your judge could see that I was standing tall.
No room for error in an event
None,
like this.
no.
What are your expectations for yourself as we carry on through the competition this year?
Yeah, so this is my 5th games, and I probably this year have the least amount of expectations that I have had in coming to the games. So I'm loving day 1. It's awesome. The games is actually the reward. The qualifying is the hard work for me. Being at CrossFit Games is always like the reward, the rainbow at the end. And so just being here is the reward. So
We look forward to watching you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Amanda. Congrats to Joyanne. That's a win. 21 seconds. It's been interesting to see in each division. The wins have been pretty large in scope.
Yeah, really, for the first place, it really has been. You know, and it, like she said, there's the little things that made the big differences, though, for them, and they're the costly errors for the rest of them.
Chalk in the bra. That's the key. That's the key.
Find the room.
Coming up next is 50.